Hey YouTube, welcome to episode 15 of my investment journey series. This is the series I do right here on my YouTube channel where I take you guys through my entire Trading 212 portfolio as someone who's a complete beginner to the world of stock markets, investing and all that sort of thing. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, my name's Iain and I've been investing since the beginning of April here in the UK when we first entered lockdown. I've been documenting my whole journey since that point with my investments on Trading 212, things that have went well, things that have went badly, and I've been sharing things such as my dividend payments, free shares I've earned from referral links, investments I'm looking to make in the near future, and all that sort of stuff. If you're new to the world of investing like me and you're maybe interested in following along somebody who's a beginner to this world, again like me, then consider hitting that subscribe button down below, following along this channel. I do weekly portfolio updates as I'm doing right just now. And just so you know, this week I'm actually going in completely blind. I've not checked my Trading 212 account at all today, so I've no idea if I'm still in the green, if I'm in the red, no idea what investments have been doing well, which ones have been doing badly. And yeah, today is Friday the 10th of July, so it'll be really interesting to see once I open up that app. And like always, we're going to jump over to my iPhone right just now. I'll open up the Trading 212 and we will go through it bit by bit. So here we are now on my iPhone screen, so let me open up the Trading 212 app as always and see what damage there's been this week. Hopefully not much. So let's just go back to last week. So if you look at this graph here, and we will go back to last weekend, so the Sunday, see where we were at. So last Sunday we were showing a return of 4.96%, 4.97% overall in the portfolio, return of £278.92, and now we are sitting at £250.12 with a return of 4.25%. So we went from 4.97% down to 4.25%. It's important to note at the beginning of this week on the Monday, I did actually add £500 of savings to my Trading 212 account, and I have invested some of that. I've not invested it all yet, but I have invested some of that £500 into a few investments, so I will get into that in this video. But as you can see, overall portfolio value is now £6,129, 5 pence. Total amount invested is £5,878.95, and the return is currently shown there, £250.11, with a 4.25% increase on the portfolio. So let's just have a quick glance over these investments. So I'm seeing green, red, green, 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 red, green, red, 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 and green. So a bit of a mix there really. Let's go up to American Airlines and start there as always. These were my 2 free shares I received when you guys signed up through my referral links with Trading 212. Big thank you for doing that. So sticking on the weekly view, it looks like American Airlines have continued to drop throughout the week. And they're now sitting, I was going to say shitting there, they are now sitting at a share price of $11.92 a share. So they've dropped 4.64% from last week. And if you're wondering why these numbers maybe jump about still, it's because the market is still currently open for another hour and 43 minutes. This trades over in the US markets, and this is the time difference. We're 7 p.m. just now in the UK, so they are still open. So if you see things jumping about, that's all. So yeah, my 2 shares, which equal £18.83 in value, currently showing a return of £3.79, so it's up 25.17%. And yeah, not really much else to say on this one at the moment, other than it has been one that has continued to drop. So fingers crossed it starts to climb next week, but with everything going on right now, it's not looking too likely. So let's watch this space and see what happens. Next one to talk about here is Hive Group, my 25 shares. This was one I took a complete gamble on. Again, if you watch previous videos, you'll know this already. Sticking on the weekly view, it has continued to drop again throughout the week. Doesn't really surprise me, to be honest. I know they've had to cancel a lot of events and stuff that were meant to be going forward in later parts of this year, around September, October, November time. They've now been pushed back until 2021. So it doesn't really surprise me that this has continued to drop throughout the week. It's actually down 7.89% from last week. So again, not looking too great. But I'm not in a rush with this investment at all. I'm not going to sell out at a loss. It was only a small amount of money I put into this one anyway, because like I say, it was a gamble. So we're just going to hold this until things start to improve, and then we might look to sell out of it. So next up this week, the FTSE 100 ETF with iShares that I have been investing in. My very first investment actually. If you've watched previous videos, you'll know. So looking at it this week, it's continued to drop throughout the week. quite a steep drop here on Thursday, and it looks like it has bounced back quite a bit this morning and Friday, and it's continued to climb today, which I guess is good news, but it doesn't look like it's recovered to the highs of earlier in the week when the markets first opened this week. So if we just take a quick look at this, FTSE 100 up on day but lower over the week as markets cheer potential coronavirus treatment. So the FTSE 100 closed ahead today. It bounced back from Thursday's losses, which is what we just saw there on the charts. And this is because sentiment's been boosted by hopes of a coronavirus treatment. Now this is something I didn't actually really know about. I've not been following the news this week just because I've had other things going on with working from home and whatnot. So I guess that's positive news if there's some word of a treatment, if there's more development on a treatment perhaps, and that would explain why that's bounced up again from the lows from Thursday. So I've got £1,741.02 invested into this iShares Core FTSE 100 ETF, which basically gives me 291 units if we round up, and it's shown a return right just now of £106.04, which is 6.49% up on the portfolio. So next up is iShares Core S&P 500 ETF that I've been investing in for quite a long time now. Looking at the weekly view, it's continued to drop throughout the week. Actually looks pretty similar to what we just saw with FTSE 100. Steep drop on Thursday, and it does look like there's been a slight recovery this morning, and it has continued to climb up again throughout the rest of the day. This is also probably tied to what we just read around the coronavirus treatments that has came out recently in the news. And if we go down here, you can see my 64 units is showing a value of £1,592.93, and that's showing a return of £107.17. So this S&P 500 investment I've got is up 7.21% overall on the portfolio. Nasdaq 100 is next, so I've got one share in the Nasdaq 100, and looking at it this week, it's looking extremely volatile. Sharp climb at the beginning of the week, and then just up and down, up and down, up and down all throughout. We're now sitting at 2.33% increase from last week. So my one unit I've got in the Nasdaq 100 is showing a return right now of £45.33, and that one unit is now worth £477.45. iShares S&P 500 Healthcare Sector ETF, this is next. Weekly view, again, dropping and then up, dropping, steep drop on Thursday, like we saw with the FTSE 100 and also the S&P 500, and then it does look like it started to climb again, probably again tied to the news with coronavirus treatments, vaccines, etc. Then a steep climb earlier today, followed by a drop, so I'm not too sure what caused that drop off at the end there, but it's now showing a decrease from last week of 1.13%. So I've got 25 units in this ETF, which equal £147.89, and we're now showing a return of minus £6.47. So we're down 4.19% overall with this investment. Legal and General Group, I have 145 shares in this, and from last week they've actually went up 1.06%. So it looks like it has dropped continuously throughout the week until today, and it's had quite a decent recovery, which means it's up 1.06% from last week. So my 145 shares I've got in this, which equal a value of £317.99, currently showing a return of £22.47, so we're up again 7.6% with this one here. MGM Resorts is next. Again, this was another one, if you've seen previous videos, you know was a bit of a gamble for me. 5 shares in this. Looking at the weekly view, pretty choppy and kind of leveled out a little bit from today. The investment I've got is 5 shares, which equals £63.46, showing a return right just now minus £26.27, so we're down overall 29.28% with this one. Market is still currently open because remember this is on the US markets, and that is why things are chopping and changing right just now still. Next one to look at here is National Grid. My 3 free shares I received from you people signing up with my referral links. Weekly view looks like it's been a pretty steep drop, especially again on Thursday like we saw with everything else, and then a slight recovery today, but nothing major to counteract the drop from Thursday. My investment of 3 shares is showing a return of minus £2.21, and that is 7.82% down in the portfolio overall, so a drop from last week of 6.14%. Royal Dutch Shell, my 78 shares I've got in this, is showing a decrease of 2.95% from last week. I've got 78 shares, like I said, £928.67 that equals. Currently showing a return of minus £65.19, so it's down 6.56% overall in the portfolio. And it's just not looking very good for this week. Again, that steep drop on the Thursday, followed by a slight recovery today, but hopefully into next week it manages to climb considerably. Under Armour is the next one to look at here, so I've got 2 shares with this investment, so let's open this up. Weekly view looking extremely up and down, very volatile indeed, down 1.04% from last week. 2 shares, £15.02 that's worth. I actually think I received a free share in this stock. Let me just double check. Yeah, so I received a free share in this stock earlier this week. So again, somebody must have signed up through one of my referral links and I got a free share with Under Armour. Hopefully whoever you are got something decent as well. But yeah, coming back here, extremely choppy. 2 shares, £15.02. So we're down 6.19% overall with this investment. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them in the coming weeks. So next up we're looking at Valaris, 26 shares with this one. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll know this was a risky stock that I gambled with purely because the price was so low. Again, do not recommend doing that. But looking at this weekly view, continuously dropping throughout the week, but there has been a bit of a recovery today from 3 o'clock onwards, it looks like. So I wonder what's actually prompted that to climb significantly there. I'll need to look into that a little bit more. But 26 shares at the moment, worth £12.44. So we're down overall with this one, 72.05%. And finally, looking at the Vanguard FTSE Emerging Markets ETF, this has actually increased by 2.61% from last week, which is really promising news. And it's now showing a return of £105.11. So we're basically at the 16%. We're at 15.93% return on this. And I've got my £764.94 in this ETF. So coming down to the overall allocation view, we're showing my 13 investments. The FTSE 100 and the S&P 500 is obviously 2 big ones at the top still, followed by Shell and my FTSE Emerging Markets. So as you can see, the bulk of my investing is in these ETFs, which I think is an important thing to do. My Nasdaq 100 is taking up roughly 8% of the portfolio, and then I've kind of got my Legal and General Group taking up 5%, the S&P 500 Healthcare sector, and everything under that's obviously at a much lower amount. That's all for this week, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the portfolio update. If you've not seen any of my recent videos, please do check them out. I just released a video a few days ago, a couple of days ago even, of why I got into investing in the first place. And it was a bit more of a personal video where I was kind of showing my face and talking to the camera the whole time. So if you want a bit of a change from these sort of portfolio update videos, then please do check that one out. I'll make sure there's a link to it below. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next video.